Hello, I am IceBeast, and welcome to a one-off for Elite Dangerous. That is the game that you are looking at right now. First thing I should mention is that this one-off is a voiceover. I am not actually speaking and playing at the same time. And the reason I did that was because I wasn't sure I'd be able to provide interesting commentary while fighting, as you can see in the background, and also trying to talk at the same time. I don't think my brain can handle that necessarily. So this is going to be sort of a video with like my other one-off videos where I describe games that I have been playing a lot, or games that I've wanted to play, and put up a video about my impressions and thoughts and stuff like that. Unlike my other one-offs, I'm doing the voiceover on this one. So Elite Dangerous is a space simulation game. It is sort of MMO. It is played by hundreds of, or thousands, or tens of thousands, or hundreds of thousands of players simultaneously in the same world. You will run into them in the game. But the reason why I say it's sorta MMO is because it is, the way the game is set up is it's actually peer-to-peer. It's not a central server like World of Warcraft or something like that. So when you come into the same system with people, then you guys peer together, and that's how you get the MMO sort of effect of it, which limits the total number of people you could realistically have in one place at one time. And they instance things to solve that problem. Anyway, what you're seeing right now is me bounty hunting. That is what this combat is. I have attacked this federal dropship because you'll see it's wanted in the lower left corner. I'm flying a Cobra Mark III, which is a pretty good combat ship. I actually prefer this ship much more to the Viper, and if anyone wants to know, I can describe why in another video maybe, but I won't go too heavily into why I prefer the Cobra over the Viper in this video. But what I'm doing here is I'm bounty hunting this ship, which means I have to destroy it. You can see my weapons. I have two fire groups, a primary fire group which consists of 2 beam lasers, and a secondary fire group which consists of 2 cannons. The beam lasers are better at sustained fire. They're also fixed. You see that they always point forward. If you look, their little things pop up. They just did that right there. Those are my cannons. They're gimbaled, which means that they try to track the target on their own, and when I fire, they will attempt to track it for me. Now I've just destroyed him, and I got that 21,000 credits. And now what I'm doing is I'm scanning this other guy to see if he is wanted, and we'll go try to get him. So now that basically what you're going to see now is me running around looking for targets to attack. So I'm going to consistently be going to a ship, waiting to see if they're wanted. I found this adder, which is wanted. It's much weaker ship than the dropship that I was just fighting. I was just confirming to see how much it's worth. That's what I just changed to do. And now I'm running my kill warrant scanner to see if it has any warrants on this ship outside of this system. So he was worth about 6,000 credits in this system. And now that the scanner is complete, I'll check back, and I see that he's worth about 9,000 credits. I realized it was hard to see, but I did that quickly. Anyway, combat in Elite Dangerous is really interesting. I really enjoy it. You have to manage multiple things. So you manage not only your distribution of power. So if you see this thing on the right, it's a sys-eng wep RST. That's my power distribution. Right now I have it set equal, and I just changed it to divert all my power to weapons and then my remaining power to engines. This ship is not much of a threat to me, so diverting power to sys is not really useful. Sys includes your shields, amongst other things. So yeah, that's why I'm ignoring that right now. Combat is also kind of cool because it's a balance of speed. You want to maintain your speed. You want to be fast to catch up to ships, but if you go full speed, you don't maneuver as well. You have to be in that little blue zone there to do optimal maneuvering. So that's something to consider. Something else to consider is you can do a cool maneuver that is really cool for space games, which is that you can... The game automatically compensates for your momentum, so you don't just spin out of control. What you can do is cancel that, if you would so desire. Cancel that compensation and sort of float or adjust your flight plan as you feel. And that's really cool for making sort of cool turns like you would maybe in Babylon 5 or something like that. It's a little slower than I would like. It doesn't quite respond quite as how I'd expect, but it's still pretty awesome, I think. I use it a lot actually in combat. It's called flight assist, and I turn it off. That's when you can do the cool turns and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really cool. It maintains momentum the way you sort of expect to actually occur in space. It's not 100% perfect. This game is definitely not 100% perfect. For example, look, I have a maximum speed right now of 211. Why do I have a maximum speed? What's slowing me down? If I have engines running, I should be able to just continue going in one direction and continue accelerating there if my engines are actually putting out energy. So that's kind of a weird one. Also, you can, of course, hear things in space. It makes perfect sense to hear your own ship because it's vibrating, and therefore you'll hear it as it vibrates the oxygen you're breathing, but it makes much less sense to hear the other ships around. This ship's about to frame shift off, so I'm actually going here to show you guys a ship jumping out of a system. That's what I decided to do. You'll notice the engines start getting brighter as they prepare to warp off. There we go, and boom. It's actually a pretty cool effect. I really enjoy it. I actually enjoy a lot of things. The star is gorgeous that we just are going by right here. The sound design is pretty damn cool. There's just a lot of really good things about this game. There are some flaws, and I'll go into some of the things I'm not so sure about in a second here. But as I'm going to keep bounty hunting, which is my primary career at the moment. I've made most of my gold bounty hunting, my credits. I have about, I don't know, 1 million, something like that, which isn't a lot. The biggest ship in the game is like 100 million credits or something along those lines. So I am not making a lot of money, and bounty hunting is not particularly lucrative when it comes to making a lot of money. The only way to really make a lot of money in this game is through mining. That's really your only option. What I'm doing here, if you couldn't tell, is I'm looking for ships on my scanner right there, and I am going to scan them, basically going to find out if they are wanted or not. You can also see I've redirected all my energy to engines. That makes me a little faster, so I can get places faster. I've already scanned this ship, so that was kind of a waste of time. This is pretty cool. You can see those 3 ships moving in silhouette against the star, and then another one just warped in. So I'm going to go check out the ship that just warped in. Usually when 3 ships are moving in formation like that, I have yet to find a case where one of them was wanted, so I don't really even scan them anymore. I find it a waste of time unless there's no other ships in the system. I don't really scan them anymore. Anyway, I think I'm gonna give up bounty hunting here in a minute and go to a station so I can show you guys a station. That's my ally. I'm allied with the Federation, so I decide I'm gonna try to check out these ships to see if any of them are wanted. Checking out the Cobra Mark III, which is the ship I'm flying, and it is not, and then I think I just give up. I decide that's a waste of time. And yeah, I'm going through my menu here. I'm flying, by the way, just with the joystick. I'm getting a HOTAS, which is hands-on throttle and stick. So I'm getting a standalone throttle here in a minute, and I'll be playing with that in the future with the throttle. I put a lot of hours into this game, and I really enjoy it. Now I've just picked a destination to go warp to, and I'm about to go into what's called Super Cruise. It's sort of a intermediary speed. So right now I was in sort of what you might call like local space or local speed, and I was sitting there, and now I'm going to Super Cruise, which is sort of an in-system cruise, kind of like the warp drive in Eve. And what I'm doing is I'm flying towards Wheelock Settlement over here, which is 254, is that 254, 294? I can't really tell right now. Light seconds away, and that clock is actually how long it would take me to get there at my current speed, but of course I'm accelerating. I'm now at half a speed of light, and I will continue to accelerate as I get there. It's very possible to overshoot your destination in this game, by the way. Something to just keep considering. So that's basically sort of the main gameplay that I've just sort of shown you, which is combat and then flying between places, and then I'll show you landing here in a minute. You can also, I have an FSD, this is called Flame Shift Drive if you're wondering, and I have an FSD interdictor, which means I can pull ships out of frame shift and fight them if I so desire. It'd be great if you're a pirate to do that. That's one of the main career choices in this game. But one of the things I think this game is lacking right now is sort of higher level goals, and they're working hard to try to put those things in. So right now I have sort of my own goals, which is I kind of want to do some exploring. I've enjoyed fighting. That's how I've found my most enjoyable thing is fighting in the game. I'm trying to become a member of the Federation military. That's something that's on the agenda as well. But for high level goals, there's no real storyline right now. There's no real like sovereignty changes. You can't, gain territory or lose territory for any of the factions or create your own factions. There's none of that stuff exists yet. I expect those things to come in. I've looked at their future plans, and they seem to be looking at many of these things. They haven't announced, you know, specifically which ones they'll necessarily bring in, like sovereignty and stuff like that, because those are complicated systems that they really have to consider and think long and hard about how to do. Because if you look at EVE Online, which I have played a lot of, if you're wondering, it's hard to get that right, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm about to drop in on this starbase here, which is kind of a cool effect as well. So it's loading, which is what this screen is right now. So there's the starbase. This is a Coriolis type starbase. This is a cool little thing. We're gonna go into this starbase. So what we have to do here, by the way, is everything I'm doing right now is manual. So I'm about to request docking clearance, then I'm gonna find the docking bay, fly through into the base, and then land on the base. I do that all myself. I'm gonna do a pretty cool little maneuver in a second that I like to do, which is I'm about to fire the thrusters on the bottom half of my ship. So what I'm doing is, as I'm turning, I'm firing my thrusters that are pushing me upward towards the top here, so that I sort of swing around and come in facing this the docking port here without, you know, coming in too close or overshooting, or to have to make some sort of super tight turn or anything like that. And now we're gonna just go right in here. Other ships are docking or undocking, and I have, you know, had some pretty interesting near misses here. And I'll show you guys the starbase interface here in a second. It will be an interesting thing. So this is me docking. As you can see, I'm pulling towards my landing pad, which is landing pad 16. I'm gonna get closer, at which point the landing radar will kick in. It should kick in here in a second. There's the landing radar. You can see the pad, and I'm moving towards it to try to get my little circle in the middle of those red circles, and it should all turn blue like it just did. I'm gonna slide over ever so slightly and then touch down here. Come on. There we go. Alright, so now I'm going to show you guys what happens when you're in starbase, basically. Which is that you can... First, I'm going to refuel and reload. I'm then going to go to my contacts here and collect my bounties that I just won. Those are pay bounties. So yeah, I'm going to collect all the bounties that I just got. So there I just got about 80,000 credits. If I had done some combat for the military, I could have had combat bond vouchers. This is the bulletin board, which is where you can get missions. I'm not going to do any of these missions right now, but those are some options. I'm also going to show you the outfitting. Outfitting requires the ship to go into the hangar, actually, to be seen. I usually wouldn't go in here, but I wanted to show you guys my ship, and really the outfitting is only the real way. You can only really see the ship in the outfitting screen. So that's what we're going to do. You can also sort of see what I have equipped. So here we go. We should get the ship here in a second. So here's my ship. Those are my weapons, my primary weapons. I am going to apply a decal here because I've noticed I had some. So I'm going to apply the competent combat decal. Since I'm competent, I have the competent rank in combat. I can apply that decal. I'm not going to apply any other decals, I feel. That's my ship right there. Those are my standard internal components, and these are my weapons. Like I said, I'm using 2 beam lasers and 2 cannons. Here you can see my ranks. So I'm competent in combat, I'm penniless in trade, and I'm mostly aimless as an explorer. You can see my money. You can see that I'm allied in the local system when I don't have a local bounty. You can see I'm allied to the Federation. If we go over to the statistics, you can see my statistics, the number, how much all my stuff is currently worth, how much I have spent outfitting, how many times I've been destroyed, which is 6 times. You can see the number of bounties I've claimed and how much money I've made off bounties. You can see how many crimes I've committed. You can see how well I've done on the black market. You can see some assassinations went by that I had done. I hit the wrong button and went over to the left here. But now I'm going to go look at the galaxy map. The galaxy map's really cool. This is our local area. These are the local systems. If we zoom out, we get more systems, and if we keep zooming out, we get the entire galaxy. And the entire galaxy is, in fact, goable. You can go to any system in the entire galaxy, which is really cool. It's one of the things I really like about this game. I'm trying to click on a star way out there. Now I'm going to try to type Sagittarius, and I don't actually remember how to spell Sagittarius, so I'm going to try about 4 different spellings. Sagittarius A star, if you do not know, is the black hole at the center of our galaxy. At least it is the theorized black hole at the center of our galaxy. So now I'm actually looking up how to spell Sagittarius. It turns out it's 2 T's. The one sort of permutation I hadn't tried. So yeah, we're going to Sagittarius A star here, the center of the galaxy, and those are all the stars near Sagittarius A star. You would not actually want to go, I mean, you can go there, people have gone there in the game. There's the black hole. You wouldn't really want to go there in reality though, because the radiation all through that area is pretty gnarly. If you look at anything about sort of the galactic core, it's not a place you really want to be. But there we go, there's the Sagittarius A star. It's about 25,000 light years away. My ship can do about 10 light years per jump, if you're wondering, so it would only take me about, what, 2,500 jumps to get there. Now I'm looking at the system view. You can see bases and stuff like that in the system view. It's useful only for planning trips and stuff like that. So last thing I'm doing here is I'm gonna find another star nearby, and I'm going to jump to it. I think I'm gonna pick Hill Pa C or something like that. And this is, I want to show you guys the light speed effect, which is really cool. But anyways, back to my thoughts about the game. Really, the lack of sort of higher level goals besides the ones you set for yourself is the biggest thing I think this game is currently lacking. There's also some people that complain about PvP. Not that the game lacks PvP, but that it's hard to get sort of into it right now. And I agree with that as well. It's just, you know, it's hard to find somebody else who wants the PvP, and it's pretty easy to escape from somebody if you know what you're doing. So here you can see another ship has just left in front of me, which is nice. They're not coming towards me. I have had ships come right for me, which would suck. But yeah, that's an asp, I believe, that's going away from us. So here we go. We're out of the base, and we're gonna warp off to this planet here. I mean, to this star. There's a beautiful planet here, which I'm gonna look at for a second, and then we'll align towards the star. We have to get a certain distance away before we can actually use our hyperdrive. And then I've decided to do free look here, and I'm free looking around. That star up there is actually pretty beautiful, and now I'm going to roll around so we can see the planet, which is gorgeous. You can also see some nebulas in the background, and yeah, it's just a gorgeous game. I really enjoyed this game. So yeah, those are my thoughts about Elite Dangerous. I've put a lot of hours into this game, and I'll probably keep playing it. We're gonna do the light speed effect here at the end, because the jump, the inter-system jump is really cool. I really enjoy it. So here we go. I would recommend, by the way, once the countdown starts counting down, that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, actually, so 4, 3, 2, 1, you should cut your engine down to 0, and you'll see why here in a second. This is obviously a loading screen. They did a good job making it be cool, but yeah, this is clearly a loading screen as we load in the next system. And we're about to enter the system right about now. That is so cool. I love it every time you just launch yourself right into these stars, and that's why you want to cut your engine speed to 0, because you do come out in Super Cruise, which is that sort of intermediary speed I was talking about. Also, you can see my heat in that it's that number going up in the bottom, 95, 96%. If that can go up to over 100, and then your ship starts taking damage. Heat is a central mechanic in the game, and I'm not going to really discuss it too much at the moment because this video is about to end anyway. It's gone on for a while. But yeah, so this is about it. We're going to head now towards this other base for me to log out. But that's my thoughts about Elite Dangerous. I really enjoy this game. I suggest if you like space strategy or space simulation games that you check it out. But just be aware that, you know, it's not quite ready for prime time. It's at like 98% prime time status, and now sort of the end game goals need to really be established for the game. And you guys all know I'm a person who doesn't need goals to enjoy, you know, preset goals to enjoy a game, which is why I love this game. But preset goals do, or end game content really could help this game. But that's basically it. So I thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed my little 20 minutes here of Elite Dangerous, and I will see you all on my next video.